Welcome, everyone, to the Everything Show, episode 690. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Sally. What's up, Sally?
What's up?
What is up, Chris?
Hi, what's up?
Okay, so the topic that's been trending, of course, past couple of days is say no to HYDRA cap. They had the writer there, I'm just going to call him Nick, I'm not going to say his last name, had tried to tell us that the Captain America that we've known, Steve Rogers, was always a HYDRA agent, always a somewhat Nazi, always a secret evil planning these things, and caused a massive outrage. Tons and tons of people, never before, have spoken their opinion on it. Now, I want to get Sally's opinion first before I go on. So, Sally, how do you feel about this situation?
I don't like it, but I mean, I know people have said, there might be a big twist in the next issue, but I don't know why they would do it in the first place.
Correct.
I mean, it's crazy.
I have witnessed many a storyline reading Marvel Comics, and there was basically very few that really pissed me off and affected me. One of them being in Spectacular Spider-Man 226, they tried to tell us that the Spider-Man that we've read about since the 70s on was a clone. Peter Parker was a clone, and that Ben Reilly was the real Spider-Man, and they tried to make it because he beat Venom first time, he beat this one, he beat that one. So the problem with that was, yes, that was like one of the most, I was all choked up. They never resolved the storyline for like 2 friggin' years or more, where the original writers had left and they didn't know how to fix it the way it was supposed to be fixed. So people kept trying to put their hand in it and they screwed it up. And it was a big, hot mess. That was one of the major things that made a huge portion of the Spider-Man fans to leave. Okay? And it took them a while to get that back with Dan Slott. Now, there was also the Mephisto thing with Spider-Man. We made a deal with the devil. That pissed off a lot of fans that some never returned. And, of course, there's a whole bunch of other stuff from, Professor X getting killed by Cyclops, Red Skull eating Professor X's brains, killing off Wolverine. It's just a whole bunch of mess. So, and Iron Man being adopted, Hulk, Chinese, whatever. All right, so anyway, this is one of those storylines that should never take place because Captain America has been around for 75 years. Captain America was around before Marvel Comics, when I believe it was Timely Comics. Everything was based on Captain America. People were in the war. They signed up for the war. He was like a symbol of hope, of liberty. People from other countries looked up to this character. The one thing he would never, ever do would be turn evil and represent the Nazis or HYDRA or whatever that he fought so hard against. I feel that this was a bad move, that they did this to try to take away sales from DC Rebirth. I felt this was a low blow. And for the first time ever, they pissed me off so bad. Because it wasn't just that, it was the fact that they were snotty about it. Like Nick was snotty, the editor was snotty. A lot of the Marvel guys were like taking shots at fans on Twitter. And I really got a bad taste in my mouth because for the first time ever, I'm like seeing people in a different light, okay? They don't understand that these people pay their salary, that these people buy their books so that we have a job. Okay, same thing with these retail comic book stores that don't want people to boycott the Captain America book because they don't want to lose sales. Okay, I am a loyal reader. I have many different comics The thing is, in this day and age, you can't just have an opinion. People have to shoot down your opinion. They have to discredit you. They have to try to show their intelligence. They have to be right. There is no let's agree to disagree. And then they try to do character assassination against you. Okay? And then I took a backseat. I said, you know what? I'm done. I'm not going to go crazy tweeting responses when people are attacking and knocking me and stuff like that. I know what I feel, and that's it. But some of the stuff I'm seeing on Facebook, on Twitter, is disgusting. And I'm talking about the people that are trying to show their opinion like me. What do you have to say, Chris?
There's a story that I read today that this Nick, we're not going to say his last name, but everyone knows who it is.
Yeah.
But the guy is now getting death threats.
Yes, which is no good.
And listen, if you don't agree with the way the story goes, that's fine. That's fine.
Right.
But the fact that they're now threatening this guy's life that's not helping.
That's not helping.
That's not helping anything.
Absolutely
This
not.
is a fictional character. As passionate as people get about it,
Right.
when you start telling people that you're going to kill them, now you're going outside the realm of reason.
Right. Absolutely.
And honestly, if they're going to do that, I hope this storyline continues just to piss people off. I really do, because if you're going to be that silly, then I hope that the writers and editors go, you know what? We're going to keep on.
Right.
Fine. I don't understand why they did it, but I have to think that they have a plan. And I think that at the end of the day, a lot of people are going to say, oh, okay, this is why it happened. We have to remember this, right? It's one issue right now. The comic is its own issue. This could possibly turn out to be one of the craziest storylines we've ever seen. And at the end of the day, we might all say, oh, all right, this is why he did this. It was to do this. I don't think that this is anything to get overly worked up about. Chris Evans went on Twitter, and he was joking about it. He posted a thing. He's a HYDRA agent, hashtag say it ain't so. He did that tongue-in-cheek, I don't think that this is anything to get too worked up about. I see now people are making they're making like concept art of like what it would look like in the movie. And I think a lot of people now, I'm starting to see a lot of people, you know what, maybe we had a knee-jerk reaction, and maybe we should wait and see where it goes. If at the end of the day it doesn't pay off, have at it. Rip it apart. But, I was talking with my friends about it, and we all basically came to the same conclusion. We were like, it's one issue. I don't think this is going to stay. I think they knew that they were going to have a reaction like this. Maybe not to the point where they were getting death threats.
Well, I don't agree with that at all. I actually sent a Twitter message to Spencer, said I'm glad he's okay. It's ridiculous. Nobody deserves to get death threats. Look, people could not agree, but that's my point, though, Chris. Right? We could disagree on stuff, but people don't have to like crazy about it. Where they death threat him, they rip me apart. I mean, they attack the fans that disagree. I mean, that's my point. That the radical, crazy people, they just take it too far. I may talk about it on our podcast, and I may be supportive against the movement of him being that way, right? And that's my opinion. It's different from this one. I'm not going to get the book. I'm not going to support it. I don't know if I'll ever read a Captain America comic again. Maybe, maybe not. But I'm just totally against it. I've been through this stuff before where things have pissed me off to the point where they weren't fixed for a while to my liking, and I just didn't go back. Or it took me a while to go back, okay? And I wasn't happy with it. We had, at one point in time, Wolverine had bone claws. Was it for like 7 years? They didn't even have the adamantium, and I'm like, why is it taking so long? You know, like to me, I felt all those years was like ruining the character like that. Spider-Man, you know.
If they do something like that with this, then I would understand. But my point is, we're only at one issue right now.
Right.
We don't know where this is going.
See, my point is, I have experience with this since 1987, right? I've seen this. I've seen where I've been like, when is Peter Parker coming back into the Spider-Man comic? That it was years, okay? And I'm like not satisfied. Like, why is it taking years to fix things? Why, you know? And I'm like not confident enough that judging by their past mistakes, they're going to screw it up even further. I mean, some of these characters have never recovered fully from what they've done to them, okay? I feel Iron Man's messed up that he's adopted and this ridiculous nonsense. I know they're trying to do the Orange Stark and Iron Man 2020 and all that crap, but that's just no cause for that, you know. And the Spider-Man thing, I mean, I don't have a problem with Spider-Man now, but I definitely had a problem with Spider-Man with the deal with Miss Fisto, and I definitely had a problem with the Superior Spider-Man at first. But I stuck with it. You know, it wasn't to this caliber. To me, this is a lot different because the character's ideals, he's the opposite of what he is. And that's why it's not believable to me. And to destroy the character in that sense, like, I don't feel would ever be restored back the way he was. I mean, you're basically character assassination. I mean, for a storyline. So, I mean, there's numerous things that they've done to Captain America. They made him a friggin' werewolf, which was like, okay. You know, I mean, like, it's crazy things, but never, to me, this is the storyline that every character has a storyline that you just don't do this one thing with each character. And I felt that this is the one thing that was the lowest of the low that should have never been undertaken, and they did that. Now, if they did something where Spider-Man started shooting people and killing people, that would be for me, you know, that the character is totally the opposite of the way he is, and I wouldn't forgive that. Captain America being a Nazi, that's a powerful, powerful name, and it brings up a whole bunch of hatred towards the evil that did these things. And it was a different time when Captain America was created. It was no heroes. Okay, he was like the first. It was like he was a symbol. He was an icon compared to all these characters. It's a different meaning. It's a different meaning for veterans. It's a different meaning for this. I mean, when you have museums putting statements outside their museum basically saying, don't support this, that's they don't collect comics. I mean, that's like a different thing. So I'm not happy with it, and that's the way it's gonna be. I don't give death threats to people. I don't do that. I talk to him in a professional manner. Tweeted him very professional, and he didn't reply, but that's fine. He's got tons of people he's got saying stuff to him. So, and we'll see what happens, and that's that.
Yeah, I just think they just did it, you know, as a cliffhanger to get people talking because of Rebirth coming out too.
And they got me to get Rebirth. They pissed me off enough to get my first DC comic in 28 years. So
because they talked about Captain America more than they did Rebirth.
They did. Rebirth was fantastic. Did you read it, Chris?
No way. I'm not supporting that either.
DC? No?
No. Dr. Manhattan, no. I think not. No way.
Okay.
You can keep the Watchmen separate.
Gotcha.
Watchmen wasn't even that good enough, in my opinion, to be connected to this universe.
See, there you go.
Personally, I think what everyone needs to do is wait before they make any judgments on what Marvel's doing, because I have a very funny feeling this is going somewhere.
Well, I don't care if it's the Cosmic Cube.
Mm-mm.
I don't care if it's...
I'm not talking about that. I think that they have a reason for doing this. Whether the reason is good or not, we have to wait and see. But if it is a good reason, then I think a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, oops."
See, I don't think you understand. He killed a hero in the book.
I know.
He threw him out.
I understand it. I'm just saying, this is a comic book.
Right,
they can make up whatever they want. Like, they could say, "Oh, that guy's fine. He's okay."
True.
I mean, look, don't get me wrong. If they come out and they're like, "Oh yeah, there's no reason. He's just like this," then I would be like, "Well, what the hell? Like, why would you do that?"
But they did say that, though.
I know, but the story's not over yet. The story's not over yet. So I don't believe anything they say until the story ends. When I see the end of the story, I'll be like, "Okay."
Okay, I have a question for you. Why did Nick have to bring up Donald Trump when talking about the Captain America comic?
Well, everybody's making comparisons that Donald Trump is like a Nazi.
Yeah, but if you read his first issue about the Falcon, he's basically insinuating that Republicans are evil.
Well, I mean, that's the new thing to do now.
I mean, in a comic,
why not?
The Falcon, all Americans are evil if they're Republican.
It's a form of media. I mean, they're going to do that anyway.
That's funny,
I don't agree with it.
I don't remember reading any comic book like that. I don't remember what all the comic books I had, like a comic book company trying to lean towards one party and say that, you know, half their fan base is evil, or like.
No, I think you're absolutely right about that. But what I'm talking about is I don't think that. You know, I don't think that Captain America is literally going to stay. First of all, I don't think he's actually a HYDRA agent. I think that this is a play for something, and I think that they've got something on the back burner waiting to throw out there. Now, like I said, whether or not it's good, it better be damn good. It better be possibly the best storyline they've ever had.
It would have to be on the caliber of this is the final appearance of the Red Skull.
Right, exactly, yeah.
He beat him. He's done. There was no more Nazis ever because he was the last Nazi. There's no henchman to him. He's officially extinct, buried forever, and I'm talking never being brought back because he basically ate Professor X's brain, so now it's even another thing. So never bringing him back ever type of thing. That would be different. But of course, I don't think they're going to do that. I think it's just going to be one of those stupid things to just deflect away from DC Rebirth. I actually feel that way.
And it very well may be. It very well may be, but I just think that
they did trend better than that, mind you. I mean, everybody was talking about that more than the Rebirth thing. So.
Well, let me bring this up too. I know everybody that's watching The Flash, the TV show, they're all like saying, "What are you doing to Jay Garrick?" Spoilers,
well,
if you haven't seen The Flash, spoilers.
Yeah, that was ridiculous too. Yeah,
they're all like, "What are you doing to Jay Garrick? What are you?" And everybody's like, "Hold on a minute. Let the story, like Chris said, let the story play out and see how it ends."
Right, and I saw it. Yeah. So, I don't know why, but I don't know, Sally. I still feel that this is different than any other storyline, though. It's the character's been around for 75 years. And can I say that one more time? Like, I mean, there's no Marvel character that's, that's, I don't know. Okay. We'll see. I am probably not going to talk about it, and I'll let it lie. But the problem I also have with it is, why can't people be upset by it?
Well, you can, but...
Because what I'm seeing on Facebook is that you can't be upset by it. That, people start saying stupid stuff like you don't collect, you don't read the book, you don't collect anything, you don't read anything, they discredit you because you have to accept this and let it go and let it play out. What if you don't want to? What if you're done with it forever? You could be done with it forever. It could be fine. I mean, that's the whole thing. I mean, I'm not trying to be negative here, but I just can't stand it when people can't just leave you with your opinion.
Well, if you don't like it, then don't buy the book.
Right, and I'm not. But like the thing is, like, just stop trying to change people's opinion of it.
Yeah.
Like, stop trying to insult to the point where you're just spending hours on Twitter trying to destroy that person. So that's what I don't like, or Facebook, or whatever. But that's just me. Okay, what else did I want to talk about today? There was a few things. Let's see. Okay, so we're hearing some rumors. Did you hear the rumor that Shia LaBeouf is going to be in the new Transformers again, Chris?
I've been hearing stuff like that
Shia
a lot.
LaBeouf? Yeah.
Yeah, I know that Josh Duhamel is coming back, definitely.
Okay.
I know that Epps or Tyrese Gibson asked to be in it.
Yep.
Michael Bay responded somehow. I would not be surprised if he showed up in it. Here's my thing about why I think it would be a good idea for some of these characters, not Shia LaBeouf, but for some of these characters to return. In Transformers 4, because like everybody says, these don't have stories, but in Transformers 4, Optimus told the Autobots to leave all human contact. So it wouldn't have made sense for these old characters to be in it because these are the characters that the Autobots kept in contact with.
Right.
So now that they're reestablishing contact with humans, it makes sense that they would reach out to these people and be like, here's what happened.
Right.
Here's what's happening now.
This is why we left you. This is
Right.
why we stopped talking to you. This is...
So I think that's a clever little idea that everybody will brush away because they hate these movies, yet they make $3 billion at the box office.
Right.
Okay. You know, I think this is a good idea. And I think that the fact that they're having characters from 4 come back, at least Mark Wahlberg's character, I think it's a good idea.
Right.
Now, what I'm kind of disappointed about is Optimus going to be in this movie? Because it looks like it. I was kind of hoping he wouldn't be.
Is he going to be, like, coming back evil or something? Like, controlled by...
I think he's going to be controlled by the Quintessons, and that's why his eyes are purple.
Right, like, yeah, I think so, too.
Because if you notice in Age of Extinction, again, another little nice little detail that everybody kind of like, oh, whatever. Lockdown had green eyes.
Mm-hmm.
He's neither Autobot nor Decepticon.
Right.
You know, that means something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, Optimus having purple eyes and the fact that they showed that means to me that either A, he's being controlled, or B, for some reason he's no longer an Autobot, which, that's ballsy.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping that he would leave and then Ultra Magnus would come in and be like, listen, I'm in charge now that Optimus isn't here. And then they go off with that, and then at the end of the movie, Optimus comes back and he's like, we have a problem. And it's Unicron or something.
Right.
That's another thing. Maybe Optimus is being controlled by Unicron. Because Unicron can control people. And we got to remember, the Galvatron and the Sweeps were purple. So...
Right.
That could mean something as well, but who knows?
I'm for Shia LaBeouf, whatever we pronounce his name. I'm for him returning. I don't have a problem with that. And Megan Fox too, if she came back too. I don't care. That's good. We do have some other articles. You want to talk about that, Chris, or no?
Yeah. It looks like, and this is kind of interesting.
Yeah, we were talking about this. I think I know what you're talking about.
Power Rangers one.
Okay, do that first.
Okay, yeah, sorry. But it looks like the Power Rangers movie is indeed going to have the classic putty creatures from the original show. I gotta say, and maybe it's just me, but so
we all
far,
do the Snapple the same way, yeah.
So far, everything that I've seen about this Power Rangers movie has been pretty faithful to what the show was, except for Rita's outfit.
Right.
Right.
Makes me wonder.
I don't know about the 7 Power Ranger movies, though.
Yeah,
Where
that's
did
a
we
little
hear
much.
that? Somebody said something like that. Yeah.
Are they really that confident that it's going to do that well for
There
7?
were a few articles that said that they have plans for 7 Power Ranger movies.
Wow.
How much can you do with one franchise, really? I mean, unless they have ideas like they mapped all of this out and they're like, we got 7 movies right here.
I mean, what is the new Friday the 13th? The 12th one, kind of? Or 13 if you count Jason vs. Freddy?
Yeah, that's true.
So, James Bond
I mean, it's obvious to me that
James Bond is 25. Godzilla is what, 30?
yeah, but 29, 30, yeah.
Right, well, so, yeah, keep going. Why not?
I mean, it's obvious to me that if they do at least one sequel, the next movie will probably have like the Green Ranger in it, and then you could do the White Ranger.
Right, you're going to do that whole thing over again.
Yeah, maybe give them new suits or something.
Right.
Like Zeo or Turbo or something.
Yeah.
Not Turbo, no, never mind. People hate Turbo for some reason.
I know.
All that stuff. You could do stuff like that. You give them their Thunder Zords or something. I don't know. You go crazy with it.
Yeah. I would rather a Voltron movie, to tell you the truth. But somebody posted something about Thundercats. Is that true?
I know people want it. I don't think anybody's picked it up yet, though.
Right.
That'd be cool.
I loved Thundercats when I was a kid. Thunder! Thundercats! Ah!
Well, I'm surprised that we haven't seen a Thundercats movie yet.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Because everything that's been made, I mean, they got Masters of the Universe coming out. They got Power Rangers coming out. I understand Voltron because they're doing the TV show, but I think eventually we'll see that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised Thundercats is not in development right now. And you know what else I'm surprised is not in development right now? Gundam. I think they could do a Gundam movie like crazy if they wanted to now.
Yeah. I have a feeling a Voltron movie will be made by 2025.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Robotech, I thought that was supposed to happen.
Yeah, I remember hearing that a couple of years ago.
Maguire, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't there supposed to be like 4 movies? Or
Something like that. I remember hearing that they were doing a Robotech movie, and then it just went news dark.
Maybe Tobey Maguire's been filming 4 movies and making money and nobody knows.
Who knows?
I used to watch that right before I went to school. And that was like, that was so weird to me. And I'm like, you know, you start seeing, I was like, oh, this is really cool. You know, it's
I think that they could start making movies. I think like the next thing could be like these anime shows will start getting movies, because I know that they just put in what did they just put in production? Full Metal Alchemist?
Yeah.
And they got an all Japanese cast and everyone was happy about that.
But Ghost in the Shell is not, you know.
That's not good.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, they screwed that cast from the beginning. But I don't know. I mean, I know that a couple of years ago, I think it was in 2011, I read somewhere that WB got a huge contract to do a live-action Ben 10 movie.
Oh, wow.
And they had director. They had the director from the first Die Hard attached to it.
Oh, my God.
And then I never heard anything about it. So
was it supposed to be Naruto? Was supposed to have a...
No, that's getting a stage play in Japan. They're doing a show in Japan.
Oh.
They could never do Naruto as a movie.
Okay.
That Dragon Ball Z, they could never do. They tried Dragon Ball Z, but they can't do those as movies, because I've always said that there are some things that don't translate well to film.
Right.
Those are 2 things that won't translate well.
Final Fantasy VII, that wasn't like really. I know they had the animation thing.
The animated one was good. It was after the game, but I don't know. I mean, maybe I don't know.
Right. Okay. Now the thing I was talking about was, I remember we discounted that Tom Hiddleston wasn't going to be Bond.
Right. Yeah.
But I guess Yeah.
He's in the running again.
Michael Keaton. Remember, he was in, he was out.
Yeah.
He's in. You know what? Give it to him. If it works around his schedule with Marvel, which I'm sure it will, give it to him for 4 movies or something. That'd be fantastic. Isn't he supposed to be in Sherlock also? Or is that a rumor?
I think that's a rumor.
From Moffat and
Yeah,
Gable?
I think that's a rumor.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool too, because but all right. So he's probably going to be Loki in Infinity War at least once, besides the Thor 3, and then he'll probably be more than likely. There's about a 65% chance he'll be in the Thor after the 3, where it's supposed to be the female Thor, but it won't even.
I don't think they're doing that, to tell you the truth.
You really don't think so?
I don't think that's going to happen. No.
Right. Okay.
Because I know we're probably never going to see Natalie Portman in another one of these movies.
Right.
So
That's true.
And honestly, the female Thor thing got a lukewarm reaction in the comics.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to translate that to movies. If they do, watch out, because that means that they're open to do things in comics now. And with what we have
see
going on
Spider-Man make a deal with Mephisto, and it's like, oh, here we go.
now, exactly, that's what I'm saying. So, like,
Yeah.
I doubt it. I really do.
Yeah, I hope they don't do it.
At the end of the day, going forward, at the end of the day, we're going back to the Captain America thing. Everybody's fans, and it's nice that there's an outpouring of people that support the character. It's not nice when you give death threats or when you attack people, but like really bad. But at least they wanted that reaction though, like that crazy reaction, and it went a little overboard. It's still going on. So, and they didn't really talk about DC Rebirth, I don't think, enough, but whatever.
There was some other news today, too, that was really exciting, I thought, anyway. They confirmed that in the animated Spider-Man movie, it's going to be about Miles Morales. I'm all for that.
Are you?
I am all for that.
I'm all against it.
No, man, listen. They can keep Peter Parker's story in that. In Marvel, Disney, and then Sony can do Miles Morales' thing.
No.
I'm all for that character getting more promotion.
Absolutely not, man. If you're going to do something like that, and if it's going to be, is it going to be an alternate reality, or is it going to be animated? What is it going to be, animated?
It's animated, yeah. But it's not connected to the story in Marvel. So
if you're going to do an animated, I would rather have an animated Tobey Maguire and everybody voicing and doing that, Spider-Man 4, but that way. Because, you have to understand, Chris, Marvel tried to force feed us different universes to stick, okay? They intended the Ultimate line to replace the Marvel Universe, and it didn't work, okay? I hated that with Spider-Man. I hated everything about it. I hated the demonic Green Goblin. I hated, I guess, Gwen Stacy with the symbiote. Oh, God.
But don't you really like Spider-Gwen?
I do. Because
so what's the problem?
There's a reason for that, okay? The reason is that was the most greatest Spider-Man storylines in history. And it was the most, I loved her more than Mary Jane. I loved that character. And I was always teased with the Evolutionary War. Is she back? Is she not back? Whatever. They kept teasing and teasing. And I said to myself, if they ever brought it back, I'd be completely satisfied with that. That's what I liked about Amazing Spider-Man. I loved Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy. But in this universe, Peter Parker is the Lizard, and it's kind of weird. When you just figured that you focused on her, I like that. Everybody loved it. There wasn't anybody that really hated it. Everybody was they at one point in time, Marvel for the whole couple of months, they were putting out variant covers of different books that had nothing to do with Spider-Gwen, right? They did a Hulk Spider-Gwen, like a Hulk, Gwen Hulk. I bought it. I bought the Doctor Strange, the Gwen. I went crazy. I love Spider-Gwen. That's like my favorite thing, man. And I love it that they have this thing where with the Spider-Verse, that he's talking to her, she's talking to him, and they're trying to pull them apart, like a thing like this, these different artwork thing. I don't know, man. I always loved Gwen Stacy. I loved it. I loved it when they had the Jackal and the clone Gwen Stacy. I loved that stuff. So, I don't know.
I don't see why it's a big deal that Miles gets the animated movie. I think that's the best way to go, because if you have two Peter Parkers in there, you're going to have a crowd of people that's like, wait, is this part of this?
I'll explain to you why I don't like it, okay? I don't like that in Marvel Comics right now, when someone says, oh, look, it's Captain America, nobody says which one, because there's two. There's Sam Wilson, who's Captain America, and then there's Steve Rogers, right? I don't like that. I don't like that there's 2 or 3 or 4, okay? Keep in mind, they had Secret Wars, right? They had a book called Thors.
Yeah.
Thors. There was like a million Thors, right? Isn't that a little boring? That they all have the same powers?
Yeah, but Miles has some different powers than Peter Parker.
I understand that. But the thing is, he's not a different character. He's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And to me, while they're in the Marvel Universe, right now, Marvel Universe, there's Spider-Man and there's Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't understand why it doesn't get confusing. Like, why can't... you know me. I'm a Peter Parker guy. You will never...
Right, I can understand that, but I don't think it's a bad thing that they're making an animated movie based on another Spider-Man.
I don't mind them making a movie about him, but I can't have him being called Spider-Man, because there can be only... I go back to the Highlander thing. There can be only one. I don't want the Spider-Man corpse, or this is not Green Lantern.
That's not going to happen, though. This is totally separate, so you don't have to worry about that.
I know, but I just have a problem with it, man. I just don't... Listen, I didn't like it in the video game when they made Peter Parker evil. I just don't... I have a problem with... You know, to me, and maybe I'm old-fashioned, Chris. I don't know. Peter Parker, Spider-Man, Steve Rogers, Captain America. But I was willing to accept the Falcon to get promoted as Captain America until that nut job of a writer turned him into a political nightmare, crazy